Reggie Bush.
It was one of the toughest things I ever had to deal with.
But the accolades all came crashing down amid allegations that Bush received thousands of dollars in financial perks as a student athlete, violating NCAA rule. The NCAA investigated, alleging Bush and his family received improper cash and perks like free housing, eventually leveling harsh sanctions against USC.
And with this decision,
under a cloud of suspicion, Bush forfeited his Heisman in 2010. The first and only player ever to do so.
Thus, after this happened,
we're going to start with the Supreme Court's unanimous ruling, siding with former college athletes against the NCAA when it comes to player compensation.
It opened the door for college athletes to get paid. Reggie Bush felt it as well.
A moment 14 years in the making, as Reggie Bush, surrounded by family and his attorneys, reclaimed his Heisman Trophy Thursday at the Los Angeles Coliseum. The venue where the former USC Trojan years ago proved he was one of the best college football players in the country.
But now he wants more, and he's taking action.
I have an open lawsuit right now against the NCAA for defamation of character. So that's what's next for me in regards to the NCAA. We filed the defamation of character lawsuit a few months or about a year ago. But it was based on a statement that they made about me saying that I wouldn't be reinstated, which I'm technically still not reinstated right now. So I got my Heisman Trophy back. I'm in the Hall of Fame, but I don't have any stats. So the fight still continues. I got a text this morning from my attorneys that the motion to dismiss that the NCAA filed was denied. So that's obviously a huge ruling in our favor.
Yep. That interview would air on July 11th of 2024. Most recently, via CBS Sports, the former Heisman Trophy winner would file a lawsuit against his alma mater, his former conference, the Pac-12, and the NCAA, seeking compensation for his name, image, and likeness while he was a collegiate football star. His attorney, Evan Selleck, would release a statement, which we have a copy of. In part, it reads, the lawsuit, represented by McCathern Law, aims to address and rectify ongoing injustices stemming from the exploitation of Reggie Bush's name, image, and likeness during his tenure as a USC football player. The biggest piece of info that was right here. From the moment Reggie Bush joined the University of Southern California, the NCAA, USC, and the Pac-12 Conference began capitalizing on his significant popularity. Revenue streams, including lucrative TV contracts, merchandise sales, and extensive media rights, have generated substantial profits for these organizations, all directly linked to Reggie Bush's prominence. Excuse me. Despite this, Reggie Bush has not received any compensation for the use of his name, image, or likeness. Even after Reggie transitioned to his successful NFL career, these entities continue to benefit financially from his reputation without any acknowledgement of his contribution. USC would fire back with a statement of their own to CNN, writing, Reggie will always be a revered member of the Trojan family, and we were very pleased to support his successful efforts to recover his Heisman Trophy. We have not received a copy of the lawsuit, so we are unable to address its allegations. If one were to question, and I guarantee this is happening, why now? Oh, you going broke? What's going on with you, Reggie? Why would you do this in the year 2024? He is not alone if you are one of those pessimists. As a matter of fact, just days ago, former Michigan football players Denard Robinson, Braylon Edwards, and other members of Michigan football would be part of a lawsuit suing the NCAA and the Big Ten Network, claiming they lost out on more than $50 million during their college careers because of the association's now lifted ban on athletes being compensated for name, image, and likeness. From the Associated Press, the NCAA and major college conferences are in the process of trying to settle 3 antitrust suits related to athlete compensation for NIL. They have a settlement agreement in place to pay $2.78 billion in damages to hundreds of thousands of college athletes dating all the way back to 2016. Though, this is important, United States District Judge Claudia Wilkin put the settlement on hold after expressing concern about provisions of the deal. She would say, and I quote, I'm concerned about the third-party NIL restrictions. I'm concerned the settlement will limit those opportunities for people moving forward. Huge blow for the conferences. Huge. Prior to that, in June, just to show you that it's not just Reggie Bush, nor is it Michigan. In June of this year, members of North Carolina State's 1983 national champion basketball team, which was famously led by Jim Valvano, and it is plastered all over when the NCAA tournament comes about. Well, they sued the NCAA and the collegiate licensing company seeking compensation for unauthorized use of their name, image, and likeness via NBC Philadelphia. The suit contends that student athletes' value to the NCAA does not end with their graduation. Archival footage and other products constitute an ongoing income stream for the NCAA long after the students whose images are used have moved on from college. The suit would read, but for the illegal, unethical, and unscrupulous conduct of the NCAA and its co-conspirators, Ricky ran into a big word, described above, plaintiffs would have been paid substantial sums for the use of their names, images, and likenesses in the NCAA's advertisements and other promotional efforts. Therefore, substantial funds that the NCAA has received and continues to receive to this day through the misappropriation of plaintiffs' name, image, and likenesses belong to plaintiffs. All right, so there's a lot of thoughts here, and I know you probably have a ton of thoughts as well. I'm going to give you mine, then I want to hear yours in the comments, and we'll continue the discussion. I know that there's going to be a feeling amongst many sports fans, college football fans, college basketball fans, college baseball fans, college gymnastics, what have you, and it's this. Oh, another lawsuit. Oh, another lawsuit. Oh, another lawsuit. Now, there could be a bitter taste left in the mouths of many because of the O'Bannon case, which basically ended the EA Sports video game franchise of college basketball and college football. But what I think we need to understand is a lot of these guys are factually and have given the NCAA time, free labor, and they have received nothing. Some would say, oh, what about Terrell Pryor? Like, okay, he got some tattoos. That it? Oh, they got some under-the-table deals. Okay. You know what they should be getting? Compensation. Just because that happened years ago, it doesn't mean that while the commercials continue to run and the highlights keep on playing, from Stephen Curry to Jimmer Fredette to Vince Young to Reggie Bush, to Pete Carroll, yada, yada, that those players who gave their labor to get almost nothing in return should not get it now. When, the saying is when the chickens come home to roost, it should happen. There will probably be many other contrarians who are saying, oh, well, this is just going to bankrupt the conferences and the conferences aren't going to do well. The conferences are fine. I mean, the Pac-12 isn't, but the conferences are fine. What I actually think is potentially not going to have any legs in the future is the actual NCAA and how that will, what provisions will be in place, how the athletes will be governed. I think it's a matter of time. An important story, which I'm going to cover tomorrow, regards Duke players trying to unionize. I do think that is a path. But this whole model that was started eons ago, where the men who created the NCAA basically said, nope, they are student athletes. Student comes first. And with that, they should also not be corrupted by payments. It's the same exact thing that Van Jones, if you want to check it out on demand, said to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The conferences will be fine. Although I don't think there should be conferences anymore. That's another discussion for another day. I actually think what is potentially going to end at some point is actually the NCAA. And for Reggie Bush, if they keep using those highlights against Fresno State where he went behind the back and they're using stuff from the Rose Bowl, I say pay him. I do. I say pay him. And I say pay the other athletes who continue to be taken advantage of.